Work, you've been working there for a long time. You don't even think about it. Just get out on the highway. Don't even think about it. Just come in the church. I remember Apostle used to say years ago, he said he had to be careful going down 35 because if he didn't, before like his car just automatically exit off on Illinois. He's going to the church when he's not even going to the church. It becomes part of you. When you get to the point where living saved becomes part of you. I said it one more time. When living saved becomes automatic, you do what you do because it becomes part of you. When this jump up, I do this why? Because it's part of. Even in the martial arts, somebody trying to hit you, you don't just they're gonna hit you and you just gonna stick your hand out. No, you gotta do certain things. Even boxing, you gotta do certain things to cover up, to protect yourself. You don't just let somebody slip there. Damn, you're playing baseball. Man, you up there and you got a pitcher and he can throw 100 miles an hour and you crowding the plate. Come on, I dare you to throw it in there. And he send one of them heaters toward your head. You just going to stand up there. And I'm going to, no, brother, we're going to hit the floor. Bam, get down there. Because he'll tear that helmet off your head. And you'll be out. Smelling sauce on brain, baby. You be in the dugout with a. What am I saying? It's part of the game. When you get one of them little young guys, when we played Little League, you didn't know nothing about baseball. You've been playing with your little sister in the backyard. Now you want to play baseball. And then one of them little guys up there, left-handed, he got one of them curves that'll loop, look like it's going over in the wood, and then come back and yum, and then bam, and you done got hit. And then you want to quit. The coach got to take you over to the side and talk to you. Say, son, listen, next time, duck. Use your knee, duck. But see, when you got them guys that know how to play, they've been playing a long time, they come in up with that hot heat, man, they already ready back, and they just lean back. Wow. They know how to do it. Same thing about living saved. When it becomes part of you, when it becomes an automatic. When this girl come down exploring herself, showing herself, twisting and shaking, stuff jumping, you know what you do? You got a neck. You have to look at them and say, I bind the devil. I bind. I'm just staring. I bind the devil. No, just turn your head. You don't have to bind a whole lot of nothing. Just turn your head. Look the other way. Why you just want to stand there and look? I bind the devil. I bind the devil. I bind the devil. I bind the devil. You saying it louder, louder. I bind the devil. No, I bind the devil. No, just. Tonight, I'm going to throw y'all just a little word tonight. If y'all work with me just for a few minutes, we're going to the house. Some of y'all just don't know. I've just about put some of this stuff together already. Go into the book of Scyene. How many brought your Bibles? Hold them up and let me see them. Hold them up, let me see them. All right. Y'all know the drill. You better not be texting. All right. We're getting ready to go into the Word. We're going to the KJV. The Lord gave me something today that's going to help us. An elderly lady called me after I went off the broadcast today. And she was telling me, she was saying, Bishop, she said, I need you to pray for me. And I could tell she was an elderly lady. And she was saying, my sugar is up, my blood pressure is up, and I don't understand altogether. And I said, you know what, Mama? I said, I've learned a long time ago not to ask a woman her age. And before I could get any further, she said, well, I don't mind. I'm 92. I said, okay. And I said, Mama, you eating right? She said, well, I'm trying. She said, I don't eat a lot of fried stuff and this and that and the other, but she said, I just don't. And I told her, I said, I tell you what, we're going to have a word of prayer, baby. We began to pray. That woman went to hollering and speaking in tongues. But before I prayed for her, I told her, I said, Mama, I'm going to ask you a question. I told one of the mothers at my church years ago, I said, if you went out there on the highway, how many 92-year-old cars would you see rolling down the highway? She said, probably a few. I said, probably not any. You 92 years of age and still ticking. And there's stuff that's made out of metal and steel, and it's on a scrap pile. Boy, she got all lit up and happy. We got to praying, man. She got to hollering and speaking in tongue and telling me how much she enjoyed the broadcast. She said, I'm going to send you. I'm going to support you too. I said, my man ain't about money. I just want you to just keep listening. What do you believe in that? The Bible says what? This is why it's important to come to church. So then faith cometh by hearing. Hearing the word of God. How can they hear without a preacher? How can he preach except he be sent? If God didn't send him, he's self-made. If God didn't send him, he does not have an anointed word. And this is one thing you got to understand. Just because you hear the word, that doesn't mean your deliverance is going to come right then. The commentator tried to make a parable, an example of the Apostle Paul, how Paul prayed for others and others got healed, but then he prayed for himself and then he couldn't get healed. They ain't got nothing to do with nothing. Like God, like how is it so you got it in your ministry? You can, in the 19th chapter of the book of Acts, how when God wrought special miracles. But then yet when Paul said he sought the Lord thrice and the Lord told him what? My grace is sufficient. And I believe on one occasion when Paul was talking about he was leaving, but he left Epaphroditus, and I believe he left him in a certain place and he was sick. Well, why you didn't, and the commentator was saying, well, why Paul didn't pray for him and God healed him? Well, when Jesus went to a city, he didn't heal everybody. Hello? It was more lepers in Damascus than Naaman, but God only healed Naaman. Right. You didn't hear why Jesus going and emptying the hospital? Right. Amen. You can't let people put you on no guilt trip. And just because you pray a prayer, all our healing is, Lord, let thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. You can't make God do nothing. Sometimes you're going through a thing, and you're going through a thing for God to make you. Oh, Pastor, you mean in my sickness, God can make you through sickness? That's all right. I got something tonight. God can make you through your brokenness. When finance is not right, then you got to have enough to sit it down and wait on God anyway. I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about, when you're used to eating good, and now things have gotten tight, you can't eat like you used to. Woo! You used to go and order a 3-piece white. Now you go to Good Luck and order backs. Can I get some breaks? Some of y'all don't know what I'm talking about. I don't know what no breaks. Well, that's all right. Get order breaks. That lady Good Luck is say over on Luke 12. I need a cheeseburger. I need an order back. What's on a back? You got to order chicken backs. Yeah, but look how many of them you got to have to get full. You got to have 10 backs to get full. And they don't give you 2 backs and some French fries and some peppers and pickles and stuff, and some hot carrots, and a couple of slices of bread, and you're going to baptize it with some hot sauce and wash it down with a big red. I need an apple pie. What am I trying to get us to see? You got to go into a situation before you can get delivered out of the situation. And just because you go into the situation don't mean that God's going to deliver you today out of the situation. There's some things you got to go through for a season. Because it's making you. Thank you, Jesus. Lord, 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 Lord. In the book of St. John, the 6th chapter, I'm going to pick through this tonight. Sister, if you don't mind, I think I'm going to read this tonight. If I holler, you better be ready. I think I'm going to just sort of pick through this and show us something. St. John, the 6th chapter, verses 1 through 14. Woo. I'm going to read verses 6 and 7. Well, I'm sorry, verses 5, 6 and 7. He said, when Jesus then lifted up his eyes and saw a great multitude come unto him, he said unto Philip, God, that could be your name. Whence shall we buy bread that these may eat? Everybody. He saw the multitude. Mind you, this is about 5,000 people. Can y'all imagine what it's like? You standing on a hill, here come 5,000 people. And most of the occasion is referring to the men. Watch this now. Verse 6. And this he said to prove him. For he himself knew what he would do. Verse 7, Philip answered him, 200 pennies worth of bread is not sufficient for them, that every one of them may take a little. My subject tonight is, you thinking too small. You thinking too small. You thinking all this you said. Now, Philip's mind is on a little. Y'all with me? Philip said 200 pennies worth of bread is not sufficient, is not enough, that every one of them may take a little. Jesus is not a little God. Right. Amen. He's not a peace-working God. Woo. Watch this. Now we got Philip thinking small, right? Verse 8. And one of his disciples, Andrew, Simon Peter's brother, said unto him, there is a lad here, which had 5 barley loaves. Watch what he's going to say. Next, and 2 small fishes. You got 2 little old brim. Now he just described the barley loaves as just being just regular barley loaves. But I want you to make no mistake about it, Master. All we got is 2 small fishes. Y'all with me? Let's just say we got two of them little square. What's the one? The man with the rain suit on. Fish sticks. Gordon. We got 2 Gordon fish sticks and 5 biscuits. We got 5,000 men. And here Philip said, that ain't enough that they can even just get a little. And then Andrew came and described the type of situation where they took their small fishes. But then he turned around and said, but what are they among so many? We got 5 biscuits. We got 5,000 men. Philip already said 200 pennies worth ain't enough. Andrew brought out the point. We got 2 small fishes. We know the biscuits just biscuits. Fish can get bigger, they can be small. Oh, we got two little garden fish patties, brother Victor. 2 gardens. 2 gardens wouldn't feed us. 2 gardens wouldn't feed you. God help us. Brother Victor got the 2 gardens and 3 biscuits, and all I got is 2 biscuits and some water. I didn't write this. This is in the scripture. But notice this. Jesus didn't even get shook by what they were saying. Why? He already knew what he was going to do. Wow. In your situation you're in right now, the Lord already knows what he's going to do. Watch this. I told y'all I'm just about finished. And Jesus said, make the men sit down. Why did he say men? There had to be more than men there. He said, make the men sit down. Now there was much grass in the place. So the men sat down in number about 5,000. Y'all, we got to work this now. 2 garden fish patties. 5 biscuits, 5,000 men. I'm talking about hungry men. Hungry men, like football players. Oh, God. Yeah. I'm talking about like Texas OU. When them big grinders, them big linemen are 300 and all that kind of pound, bust up in there and eat 2 sirloin steaks. Drank almost a gallon of tea. 1 man. I'm just saying. And they ain't got to be football players. They can be guys, just heavy men that know how to destroy stuff. And Jesus said, sit them down. He didn't say, put the little skinny ones over here, tell the fat ones, no, sit them all down. We're going to feed. Remember, all we got is 2 gardens. Oh, God. Watch this. Woo. Verse 11. And Jesus took the loaf, and when he had given thanks. Oh, God. You know what the Lord told me when I was writing back there? He gave me this little thought. The ingredients for a miracle. Some of y'all don't know, but you got the ingredients for a miracle in your lap, in your house, in your purse. The ingredients for a cake, the thing that it takes to make a cake. You got to have the ingredients for a miracle. What do you say? Well, I got this sore and it won't go away. That's the ingredients for a miracle. I got a bill that I need to pay Monday. That's the ingredients for a miracle. But don't think too small, because see, he can pay that bill and 2 more, and then give you enough money to go shopping. Right. Man down at the garage told you, say, your transmission is messed up. You will have to buy a new transmission. The Lord might just say, well, I'll tell you what, I'm just going to bless you. Just go get you another car. Jeez, I ain't getting no help. I'm not getting no help. I'm getting out. Yeah. I'm talking about, see, the ingredients for a miracle. And he can use what you got. The man of God, that's what the woman said. So what do you have? All I got in the house, I got this little spot of me and a cruise of oil. Is that all? All I got is a cruise of oil. What? You know what the man of God told her? Say, go borrow some pots. Well, if he had left it up to her, well, I got some pots already in the house. He said, go borrow some pots, meaning you don't have enough pots in the house. And you know what he told her? He said, don't borrow a few. Nobody will hear what I'm saying tonight. Help me to preach this tonight. The man of God said, go take your pots, go borrow some pots, but don't you go out there and just get 1 or 2 pots. Get every pot you can get. We're finna start up something in the kitchen. Woo. And the man of God told me, shut the door. And he started pouring. Now, start pouring. She started pouring oil. Glue, 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 glue. She filled up that. Tell them boys, oh, go get me another. I'm on a roll. Go get me another. She on a roll. Go get me another. She filled up every pot, every vessel. And you know what the little boy said? Say, Mama, y'all know how cute you are. Mama, we ain't got no more pots. And filled up everything. Then the man of God said, now, go and sell the oil. Pay your bills. And then y'all live off the rest. Do you all not know if she had not run out of pots, she'd still been pouring? The only reason she stopped pouring, she ran out of pots. And the Lord wasn't going to waste his oil. That's why we shouldn't waste our blessings. I'm talking about building faith tonight. Somebody needs this. See, that's why you got to learn how to deal with stuff. Don't worry about it. See, sometimes you can think too much. Sometimes you just need to just chill out. Just let whatever it is, let the day take care of itself. Sufficient to the day is the evil thereof. Don't go and get tomorrow's evil and bring it back over here. Let tomorrow's evil wait till tomorrow. And for sufficient for the day is the blessing there. Whew. Folks about the devil is busy. You got to be busy. God's busy. He got to be busy because God's busy. And what the Lord is, say God is fair. He'll give the devil a head start. Just like he did Ahab. He'll give the devil a head start and then pass him. He'll make the fool think he got the victory and then come in there and bam. Down goes Frazier. You have to remember, God is in charge of everything that's happening right now. He knows. He's not asleep. Everything that's happening is playing into the plan of God. Thank you, Jesus. Everybody that's dying is dying because God said it's your time. We may not see the essence of it, but somebody is getting affected by it, whether it be a child, a young child, an old man, an old woman, a young woman, an old woman, whatever. Everything that's happening is happening according to God's schedule. The devil doesn't have the power to take nobody's life. So don't get all twisted. Now they've come up with this new stuff. Korea, whatever this new virus is. Notice it's a virus. And the virus can be created. Y'all remember swine flu? They were running around with masks and everything on, then all of a sudden. Folk don't pay stuff no attention. Don't you ever, when you see this mess in the White House, that should tell you our federal government would do any and everything. There are people that would do any and everything. Back when they bombed Pearl Harbor, the United States didn't go after the Japanese Navy. We had an issue. We had a deal called a hydrogen bomb, but they didn't know the extent of it. They didn't know how much damage it would cause. So when they bombed Pearl Harbor, we didn't go after Tokyo. We didn't go after the Japanese fleet. We went after Nagasaki and Hiroshima because we wanted to see how much damage the H-bomb could do. And it literally disintegrated people's flesh off their bone. And once we found out what the H-bomb will do, now we put it up. They came out with another thing, Ebola. Ebola was created by a scientist by the name of Jonathan Townsend. Jonathan Townsend is dead because they killed him. Because, see, they was experimenting with fruit bats. But that wasn't good enough to know what it would do with men. People over in Africa were saying that the Red Cross was deliberately giving it to the natives so they could experiment. And then they brought it right back to Dallas. My mind escapes me the man's name, but I'll call it after a while if it's necessary. But anyway, he came down with the Ebola. They quarantined his house. The mayor pro tem, after everything was cleared up, he went over there all in the streets talking about everything's well. Nurse Fan and this Filipino nurse, they flew her from Love Field to Bethesda. You ain't heard no more about her. The young black nurse that was working in there, I believe they told her, if you say anything, we'll kill your unborn kids. She ain't said nothing. Quiet as a church house mouse. All of a sudden, the doctor that was treating the folks over there, treating all of a sudden he gets well because he got an antidote. So now they know what Ebola will do. So they're telling people, now go and take your flu shots. And they don't even know. And they say now this new stuff, they don't know, it's uncharted waters. And they're creating a hysteria over in China. And the United States now is bringing people back home out of China. But let me tell y'all something. The Bible says it's going to be wars and rumors. It's going to be pestilence. Man is playing into God's hand. A virus can be created in a lab. Y'all seen these movies? When these folk create these viruses, they run around trying to stick somebody with a needle, and at the end, somebody stick him in the neck, and then he swell up like a toad and pop. What are you saying? What I'm saying is we're thinking too small. We're thinking that God can't deliver us out of what you you are in. Somebody said, well, Pastor, what all that? I'm bringing my message to you. Well, look how we think. If we ain't careful, then we start getting panicky. You walking around with a mask. I bind the devil. I ain't got a mask. I bind the devil. I bind Satan. You're a lie and the truth ain't in you. Somebody in the grocery line, they just call. Oh Jesus. Satan, I bind you. I rebuke you right now. And all that old stuff. You got to understand something. Greater is he that's in you. Yes. Can anybody hear me tonight? You're thinking too small. God's not going to let that take you out. Come on. Can anybody hear me? God got a purpose in your life. He's not going to let that take you out. Just because you lost that job, God's not going to let you go down the drain. He got something better. But you got to tell yourself, man, look what God's getting ready to do through me. You over there crying because that car's gone. You know what you need to do? Go in there and get down on them. Y'all know what I'm talking about? Get down on them. Get down on them. Get down on them. Pray. I'm talking about pray. When things get hard, you won't get sleepy. I'm talking about when you press, you don't even get sleep. You can say words, you can pray for hours. Devil, you ain't thinking about sleep. You're trying to get a breakthrough. Thinking too small. Did you think this was all God going to do for you? That little house you living in, that little rent, you thought all that was going, God wasn't going to give you your own. Well, I believe He's going to bless you with the house, and you can go have a furniture, what you call it? You're not going to have any furniture? No furniture at all? Well, my grandmother gave me this sofa. God, you got a brand new house, new carpet, and you in there raving and just excited because your grandmother gave you a sofa. Ain't nothing wrong with your grandmother giving you a sofa, but that's not the main ingredient. Come on. Amen. Got a pantry in there. When you open the double door, it goes and make an ale. I don't know why they put this pantry in there so big. Well, why God give you the house with the pantry in it? That means God's going to give you food to put in the pantry. But He ain't giving you the food to put in the pantry for you to eat it. He wants you to keep the food in the pantry till you get somebody else you can get the food to. Then He's going to replace the food that He put in the pantry. Can anybody hear me tonight? Well, I don't need all this space. I think I'm going to put a wall up here and just, God help me. Tyrone got a friend, he's a carpenter. I'm going to have him come by and just put a wall across here because I ain't going to be going way back up under there and all that to try to put. I like to cut the yard. That's my exercise, all right. But the Lord bless you with one of them zero clearance. And all you got to do just, y'all don't hear what I'm saying. When you you've been out there pushing and bag, and then you got one of them zero clearance. All you got to do is just sit up and just turn around, go 360, and run all up to them trees, run up and stop, then back it up, then spin it around, then go back to the other. You out there pushing and. You're thinking too small. Well, I got to cut I'm going to have to cut the yard. What's wrong with God blessing you to have a yard crew? I'm talking about Hector and Gonzalez and Lopez and all of them. They come by there and bag it all up and trim it. And while they out there doing it, you sitting on the patio with a glass of tea. Some tea. And honey, bring you a couple of nachos. And you sitting out there and tell, hey, y'all take a break. Come on over here. I got some nachos, amigos, and we're going to drink some tea and eat some nachos. Well, I don't know. I got this big old place. Yeah, and I don't know how I'm going to cut it. I'm getting older. Well, that means God's going to, if He gave you the place, He's going to give you somebody to cut it. This big old house, I know I can't reach way up there and paint those boards. You know what you do? You call Hector. You call Hector, and he come out there with his boys, and they get them spray guns. They slide their breast down there, cutting that paint so smooth, and when they get through, they roll up everything, clean up everything, and they done, and they gone. And you ain't there sweating bullets, you just pay them. Yeah, I don't want a Mercedes or a BMW because it's going to cost too much to get it repaired. If God bless you with a BMW, and you're going to, I don't want it because it costs too much to get it fixed. No, if God bless you with it, why you can't believe he'll bless you with the money to do the maintenance on it? Now, I'm going to stay with a Kia because if I get me a Kia, I know I can get it fixed. It won't cost me a whole lot. And when he had given thanks, when he praised God for what he had, and he gave God thanks for what he had, and then he magnified him for what he was going to do with what he had, he distributed to the disciples, and the disciples of them that were set down, and likewise the fishes. I know somebody says bad English, but Jesus said they fishes. Watch this. Watch this now. Watch this next statement. Is that in y'all's Bible? Watch that next statement. Sister, read what that next statement say, so nobody won't think it's just in my Bible. Verse 11, that after fishes. What did it say?
As much as they would.
My daddy said when you come to our house, he said, get a plenty. That was old school, get a plenty. That mean eat all you want. Get full, get a plenty. Watch this. And the fishes and the bread, as much as they would. You know who the they are? That's the men that's sitting down. Every time somebody raised their hand and said, can I get 2 more, Gordon? Man, yes, you can. Woo. One of them big men over there. Say, man, could I get 3 more? Bring it on, brother. You can get 3 more Gordons if you want. What is God telling us? As much as we want, or as much as we will, you make the call. God said, I'm opening the door. Now, you make the call. I didn't write this. Verse 12, when they were filled, remember, all we got is 2 gardens, 5 biscuits, 5,000 men, and they can't eat no more. When the time came that they were filled, they can't eat no more. He said unto the disciples, gather up the fragments that remain, that nothing be lost. Verse 13, therefore they gathered them together and filled. Watch what the Bible says. They gathered them together and filled 12 baskets with fragments of the 5 barley loaves, which remained over. Wait a minute. We didn't have a 2 gardens and 5 biscuits. Now we got 12 baskets over. After all them OSU and Texas boys finished eating, we still got when they couldn't eat no more. Watch this here. Notice what he said. What they got, which remained over. Now, wait a minute. He ain't finished. Wait a minute. It's an and on there. It's how do you? Maybe somebody, y'all see me after church. Somebody smarter than I am. Which remain over and above. If it's over, it's full. Yeah. But it's an and above. It's over and above unto them that had. In other words, it was over. What was left over And it was more than what they could ask for. See, if they ate to hear, they were full. If they had above, they had a surplus. Just in case somebody burped and wanted something else, hey, I got you. I don't know about you all, but I don't mind getting a blessing over. And the 12 basketful was above what they started with. So God is saying, quit thinking small. Because what you're talking about ain't nothing. But I guess I'm going to have to drive this car for about 5 more years, God. You're thinking too small. I guess I'm going to have to live here. Because I don't see us being able to do no better. God said, you're thinking too small. See, you're saying to yourself, well, I got to try to figure out how I'm going to do this if I do it. See, when God bless, understand something. Don't bless yourself, but when God bless you. Y'all listen to what I'm saying. When God bless you, don't figure when God bless you how you going to do it on your paycheck. Because you're going to pay your tithes and give an offering, then God's going to cause men to give into your bosom.
Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord.
And that they give into your bosom is going to be Then those men, when they had seen the miracle that Jesus did, said, this is of a truth, that prophet that should come into the world. The miracle caused somebody else to believe. You might not believe this, but God can do for you, and what he do for you can cause somebody else that don't even know him. Say, wow. The doctors told you ain't nothing else they could do for you. You're going to die, and God say live. And when God resurrect you, it just dumbfound somebody else to the point where they say, you know what? God, I'm going over to that church. I'm going to go over and let that preacher pray for me. Wow. You're thinking too small. I gave you all my testimony. Brother A and Brother Ty was with me. We came out the television station. Down there, what was it, Ruth Street? Ross Avenue, down in that area. Came out of the television station. And a man came out of nowhere. Walked up to me and told me, I enjoyed your broadcast. I don't know how whatever happened. It was on TV. He just walked up and said, I enjoyed your broadcast. He said, but the Lord told me to tell you, you're thinking too small. And Brother A and Brother Ty and I got to talking, and we looked around, and the man was gone. We couldn't figure out what happened to him. Because we way out there on the far end of the parking lot. The parking lot went in sort of a wedge, and we was way out there on that end. The building is way over there. He didn't have time to go from where we were to the building. And we looked for him. I'm not making it up. Brother A was right there. Ty was right there. We looked. We said, where did he go? That's all he said. You're thinking too small. God can do what he wants to. Can anybody hear me? What we talk about, we want to do it on this corner. You know what? If we're not careful, we'll think and we'll tell ourselves, well, we got to wait till we get 2,000 members. All God got to do is move. I ain't saying. I'm not saying. Can I just throw a scenario out there? That guy, Powell that played with the Maverick, he just tore ACL. The word might get over to him about Apostle Ross on the radio broadcast. Lord might just open the door. So you go down and pray for him. Boom, God healed him. Mark Cuban said, I'll be anything you want. I'll be as big as you want. Just say it. I'm just saying. He can do. Well, somebody said, well, Pastor, he ain't no blessed no sinner to play ball. Well, he blessed Naaman. Ain't nowhere in the scriptures that Naaman was saved. And that boy jumped back out on the court next week, spinning and doing everything he was doing. And they talking about he's going to be out for a whole year. What happened? Well, that preacher prayed for him. Mark Cuban said, what can I do for the Lord? And that could spark that young man's mind where he can start thinking godliness is more to life than just basketball. They had a guy years ago, Connolly, bald-headed guy, played with San Antonio, I believe. They used to call him the preacher because he professed Christ. Bad basketball player. In the midst of all that, he professed Christ. He had no problem for it. I don't drink. I don't smoke. He didn't carry on like all the rest of them, but he did his game. So what I'm saying, God can do it. Well, why would the Lord say, well, the Lord going to bring somebody out for Skid Row? They ain't got nothing. They want an offering. They want us to feed them. You're thinking too small. He can do whatever he wants. The king's heart is in the Lord's hand. That's all he gave me. You're thinking too small. Now, everybody sitting here, what you got to do now is deal with your thoughts. And ask yourself, am I thinking too small? When the enemy brings sickness and this and that up against you, you have to come to the point of asking yourself, God, you mean you can't heal me? I could go to the doctor, but I've decided I'm going to wait on you. If you can heal Naaman of leprosy, you can heal me. You can open blind Bartimaeus' eyes, you can heal me. If you can heal a woman with the issue of blood, you can heal me. Whew. If you can heal Jairus' daughter, you can heal me. If you can raise Lazarus from the dead, you can heal me. If you can knock Paul down on the Damascus road, and when you get through with him, he said, Lord, what would you have me to do? You can save anybody. I heard y'all testifying tonight. I'm agreeing. Y'all just don't know. I'm agreeing with you. I'm telling God to save everything. Y'all better be careful when you come up in here. I'm telling you to save Cookie, everybody. 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 I'm telling God, let a spirit of conviction just hover in this place. And when people come, let your presence go to work on them. Let them see themselves. Let them see that that in him we move, we live, and we have our being. That without God, I'm nothing. It doesn't matter what I achieve in life. What would it profit a man if he should gain this whole world and then lose his soul? Or what will a man give in exchange for his soul? That's my prayer. 2020, shake the house. God blessed today on the radio broadcast. He blessed. Man, I was getting ready to close. The young man looked in the glass, and he telling me, keep going. You know what I did? I was just like a truck driver. I went in on the clutch. Went back to second gear, boy. We went on down the road. And he was in there just walking around, doing this and doing that. And then he finally came up and started counting me down. And I looked up there. I said, man, it's 10:55, almost 11 o'clock. And when we went off the air, he told me, he said, well, they didn't have nothing else planned. Nothing but music, so I just let you go ahead and preach. I said, thank you, Jesus. He said, I'll be here next Saturday. I'll do the same thing. He said, wasn't nobody scheduled in after you. Nothing but I got to sit and play a lot of music, so he just told me to keep rolling. You know what I did? I kept rolling. When he said that, y'all know what second gear is. I just broke it down and went on to second and got my speed back up and went on with it. Look what God did. God gave me that chance. A lady called Sister Rogers, called this evening, wanted to know how can she go to the prayer breakfast. Don't even know. She said, I live in Garland. And we got to talking, and she said, I know exactly where it is. I told her she's not here, but she'll be in the Sister Rogers call. The lady already booked up, ready to go. Heard the broadcast. We don't know what's going to do. She may go to the prayer breakfast. God might save her, and then she might be looking for a church home. And then You know what? I can't see y'all. I'm sorry. I can't see you all for all these other folk. Can I? Ain't nobody hearing me. I can't see you all because all these other folk just sitting all over the place. And when y'all ain't saying nothing, they saying, preach, Reverend. Preach, Reverend. Let the Lord use you.